Alright. So, third time's a charm, right? This is my third attempt at recording a video about warm-up drawings. These were my first two ones. The second one actually wasn't that bad. This one was my first one. Not that good. Um, it's fine, but I wanted to do better. So the first recording got messed up, and then I did this one, second recording, which I actually like this one, and I was almost done with it, and like just about 9 minutes in, and then the recording got messed up there too. But I'm not gonna include the first one because the recording got totally screwed up. You won't be able to watch it. But the second one, I actually have the recording. It just got interrupted at the end. So I'll after this video is done, then I'll let you watch the second attempt, which is where I drew this one, and I talked about Miss Magius and a little bit about warm-up drawings. I don't remember exactly what I did or didn't talk about, and I'm too lazy to go back and watch the video all the way through before I record this one, because I'm kind of just like anxious now and just want to get it done. So I do know that I just briefly talked about warm-up drawings and like what it should be. I know I talked about like how long you should spend on it. So all that information you're gonna get after this drawing is done and you watch the next one. It's gonna be like time travel. So you're gonna watch this one, you're gonna go back in time and watch the one that preceded it. So I drew Miss Magius twice already, so I'm not drawing that shit again. No way, no how. Because I'm already happy with the one I did. So I'm gonna draw another one of my favorite Pokemon. It's a new one. Um, at least I think so. New to Sun and Moon, called Serena. Awesome Pokemon. So if you, I was gonna say like spoiler. I don't know. I'm not gonna warn for spoilers. If you don't want to see the final evolution of a new Pokemon, then don't watch this. But still, like watch it, um, just because I want you to. Yeah. So gonna draw Serena. Super cool Pokemon. And not talk about warm up drawings all that much because I don't want to talk about it anymore. I already did it twice. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Uh, adding that video on to the end too is a big deal for me because I hate doing editing. Oh God, I hate editing. And you may be asking, well, if you hate editing so much, why are you doing videos on YouTube? And I don't have a good answer for you. So you're gonna have to live with it. Editing is not that great. I'm just gonna hop in iMovie and throw some transitions in there and tack it on, and that's gonna be it. Not work. I'm not doing any more than that because I just don't. I don't know. I don't like editing. It's like it feels really tedious. And I just don't like it. So usually when I do my videos, letting you in on a little behind the scenes action here. I do everything in one cut, one attempt, and if it messes up, then I just start over. Because if I'm nothing, I am very stubborn. Uh, and yeah, so that's just how I do things. So yeah, just doing another quick drawing. I'm not gonna spend too long on this one, because I've already done this a couple times. But I wanted to give you at least one more drawing to look at, just because I felt bad about the last recording getting all interrupted. I was just gonna do like a little clip where I was talking about it and throw that in, but I didn't feel like doing that either. So I'm just gonna draw another Pokemon and then move on with my life. I am going to record another video after this, so hopefully I'll have a couple videos to get out over the next few days, and yeah, so that's cool. Going to be trying to find time to record as often as I can, and at least, spend like a half hour, 45 minutes getting a couple videos recorded so I have some stuff to release over the next few days. Gonna try to have at least one a week, as often as I can. It may not be one a week for a little while until things pick up a little bit, but for now I'm gonna aim for one a week. If I don't get that, then I'm sorry, I lied to you. Um, and you can, I don't know, be upset about it. Whatever you need to do to deal with it. But this Pokemon is super cool. I really like this one. Awesome design. I do gotta say that in the new game, Sun and Moon, they really nailed it with some of the new designs. Like some of the new Pokemon are some of my favorite Pokemon, whereas in the past, um, the newer Pokemon have actually, like, I felt like the designs haven't been very strong. But I don't know. I just feel like they really either got lucky with this one or really like stepped up their game for this one. Uh, So yeah, really happy about it. Really having a lot of fun with the game. If you haven't checked it out yet, you absolutely should. I think it's the best Pokemon game since Generation 3. Yep, I just took a sip of coffee there. So, uh, yeah, drawing Serena. Oh, I love this Pokemon. If I sound a little like crazy and rambly, it's because I just really don't want to be doing this again. But I'm not talking about the same stuff, so I really can't complain. But I hope you're all doing all right. And if nothing else, you get a good laugh out of this, cause man, I was frustrated. I was like yelling and stuff, which is what I do to blow off steam when I get mad. I kind of just like get loud for a little while, and like I feel better, and I get back to it. So, but I'm looking forward to recording the next video, cause I'm actually gonna record doing a little bit more work on the drawing I was working on the last video, the starting a drawing video. I'm going to work more on that drawing, and I've been wanting to work more on it, so I'm excited to do that. So at least I have something to look forward to, that's not editing, because God, I hate it. I hate it. Like, maybe if I had, like, like, actually spent some time to teach myself how to do it, it wouldn't be as annoying for me, but, like, I don't have the patience, like, actually teach myself how to do it. So when I have to do any sort of editing, I just get frustrated because it doesn't make any sense to me, which is probably the most backwards thing that I could possibly do. But hey, that's how I'm living my life right now. So, yeah, like I said, you're just gonna have to deal with it. If you've got a bunch of money laying around and you don't know what to do with it, which is probably not the case with the holidays, uh, I don't know. I could use a camera, because recording on my phone is uh, risky, I think. Like, it works, like, in the video looks nice enough, um, but I do want to get like a real camera for recording so that I can actually get some like really nice quality videos going. Because the whole point of this video is to you know what, I don't know. I was gonna answer that question. I don't know what the whole point of this video is, but I hope you have fun watching me draw and listen to me talk about drawing. And if I'm able to get another camera so you can see it in a little bit higher quality and a little less shakiness, I think that would be great for everybody. So if the videos do well and you guys are liking them and I like doing it, then maybe in the future I'll invest in some new equipment, but right now it's just nowhere near in my budget. So you're gonna have to deal with me recording on my phone. But hey, maybe in the meantime I can prove that you don't need nice expensive stuff, even recording equipment, to do what you want to do with your art. Um, we live in a day and age that's pretty amazing with the technology that's just in our pockets. I have an HD camera, HD video camera in my pocket. So I mean, heck, why wouldn't I use it? So I'm going to. That's what I'm gonna use to record my videos. And if you don't like it, then I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. Uh, yeah. Sorry if that sounds rude. I'm just going a little crazy right now. But we're doing good. Doing good. I'm actually really liking this drawing. So all's well that ends well, I suppose. This is just I've been wanting to draw this Pokemon for a while too. So this is kind of me getting it out of my system also, which is nice. But yeah, you'll be able to see the Miss Magius drawing process after this one. Like I said, I'm gonna tack it on to the end of the video, so you can watch it. It's just gonna cut off like abruptly at the end, which because I just cut out the interruption. It's basically there's just like a lot of really loud noise. I have cats and they're kind of unpredictable, so yeah. So I'll just cut that out and then let you guys watch the rest of it. It'll be a-okay. Maybe. I don't know. Probably. Possibly. It'll be fine. But God, I mean, just look at this Pokemon. I was talking about how cool Miss Magius is. Miss Magius is very cool. This Pokemon is also very cool. I'm probably going to be doing some more drawings of Pokemon too. I want to do a lot of Pokemon fan art because I've been playing the game and having a great time with it. And
yeah, lots of Pokemon I want to draw, lots of characters I want to draw. So you may see more Pokemon fan art from me. And who knows, like maybe I'll even do some requests for like certain Pokemon because I like drawing Pokemon so much. So, start thinking about it. Maybe for one of my next videos or like for a series or something, I'll just take a bunch of requests in the comments from like for your favorite Pokemon, and then I'll pick some and draw some. Um, I don't know. That could be fun, right? So start thinking about it, and maybe we'll do something like that soon. Because I think that would be really fun. I wanna try to get you guys involved in videos too. So make whether it's just like making requests or something like that. I'd like to do that. So yeah, shout out to everyone. Thanks for all the support so far. I do read all the comments and everything. I don't always reply to all of them, but I promise you that I read every single one, and I'm gonna do that for as long as is feasible for me to do that. So here's Serena. This is actually a really fun drawing. It went really well. And just drawing this one from memory. I've been using her a lot. She's like a staple in my team right now. Because her ability, Queenly Majesty, one of her abilities anyway, prevents Pokemon from using priority moves, which I think like Sucker Punch and Quick Attack. Anything that's like, this attack lands first, which there's quite a few attacks like that. And if you can kind of read the opposing team and figure out what moves they're probably going to use, she's pulling her out like at a time where you think an opponent's going to use a priority move is awesome because it completely shuts down the priority move, and then with her high speed and attack, she can do a lot of damage before you need to switch her back out. Just a really great Pokemon. She's got a lot of really good abilities too, really good stats. I think I'm eventually going to breed one, or rather find one with the hidden ability, Sweet Veil, because that keeps her and all Pokemon in your party from falling asleep, which could be good for competitive, so I may want one of those, but blah blah blah, Pokemon. Yeah, so here's Serena. That was a fun drawing. Good warm up. Um, so yeah, after this, you'll go back in time for a minute and see the recording I did before this. It's about 9 minutes. So this total video will be a little over 20 minutes, which is a little longer than I think what I'm going to do normally, but hey, can't always get what you want, right? Or maybe you do want this. You need a longer video. That's good. Um, anyway, I'm babbling. I'm going kind of crazy. So let's time travel now. You can watch the other video, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, what's up, everyone? Okay, so this is actually the second time I've tried recording this. The first time, I don't even know what happened. I got like 6 minutes into the recording, and then it just stopped. Hmm, coffee. So yeah, I'm doing it again. I wanted to talk about warm-up drawings. You can see I did this quick drawing of Miss Magius or Miss Magius, I don't know how to pronounce it. But it's not even that great. Looking at it now, I don't really like it that much. So I'm gonna draw another one because I gotta draw another one anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, I was drawing this as a warm-up drawing because it's a Pokemon that I really like and I'm very familiar with. So I just went with that. So for warm-up drawings, I like to draw familiar stuff because warm-up drawing, it doesn't need to be anything super fancy. You're just warming yourself up to work on something else. And I'm going to be working on something else right after this, so I'm actually doing this as a warm-up drawing, not actually just for recording purposes. So, because I wanted it to be like authentic or whatever. Now, the important thing about warm-up drawings, I think, is to not spend a whole lot of time on it. To just kind of do something real quick just to get your drawing hand warmed up and get yourself in the mindset to work. Because if you spend too much time, then not only are you going to take away time that you need to spend working on whatever other project you want to work on, but you're going to wear yourself down and you're not going to have as much like creative energy to work on your other stuff. And if you're like me, and it's really hard for you to kind of build up that creative energy sometimes, because that's how I am, then that's kind of like a crucial thing to keep in balance. Make sure you've got that motivation that you're ready to go and you want to get some work done. Doing a fun warm-up drawing like this is like key to my process, and I feel like a lot of people are probably going to function the same way. But man, Miss Magus is such a cool Pokemon. I'm gonna say Miss Magus because I think like pronouncing it like Mage is cooler. Um, I was talking about this in the prior recording attempt that I didn't know exactly how it's pronounced, and I don't even know. I think they introduced Miss Mages in like Gen 5. Um, One of my favorite Pokemon, Miss Drevis was one of my favorite Pokemon when they introduced Miss Drevis in Generation 2 when I had Pokemon Silver. Um, Very cool Pokemon. I just really liked the whole, aesthetic of that Pokemon. And then I was thrilled when I found out that that Miss Drevis got an evolution. I think in Gen 5. I want to say it's Gen 5. I didn't play any of the Gen 5 games. Um, so now in Sun and Moon, I have a Miss Magius, and I'm really happy about it. I want to get a shiny Miss Drevis. 'Cause I think, if I'm not wrong, the shiny Miss Magius is like gold colored, which is pretty cool. Although the purple color is very cool on its own. Just a cool Pokemon. I like big hats like this. Like it's like big witch wizard mage hat, whatever you want to say. Super cool. Just a cool Pokemon. Um, yeah. So I like this Pokemon. Let's stop gabbing about how much I like this Pokemon. It's really good. Um, Actually, I lied. I'm not gonna stop. The move set I'm running right now on my Miss Magius is I've got Shadow Ball. Right now I've got Charge Beam, but I'm gonna switch up for Thunderbolt once I get it. Calm Mind and Hidden Power. The really cool thing about Hidden Power on Miss Magius in Sun and Moon is it actually becomes a ground type move, which is really really cool because Miss Magius has the Levitate ability, which makes it immune to ground type moves, which is awesome. But ground is there are not very many ground type Pokemon that I would actually like use in my team. So having a really cool Pokemon with high attack stats to use a ground type hidden power move is pretty freaking awesome. Just super fast Pokemon, super high special defense and special attack. Just a really uh, really awesome Pokemon. Cool, cool, cool. So yeah, warm-up drawings. Keep it simple, keep it familiar. It's always going to be easier to draw something familiar. If that takes the whole element of design out of your warm-up drawings because if you're figuring out like what you're going to draw for your warm-up drawing, you're wasting time already. It's best, in my opinion, to just jump into it, get it over with, warm up your drawing hand, and move on. If you are spending a lot of time on a warm-up drawing and you really like it, and it's going to take you a little bit more time. You're like, oh, I'm actually really like this drawing. Like, I want to develop it more. Then put it aside and come back to it later. Like, get your work done, and then come back to it. Because you wanna get your stuff done, especially if you're trying to work like doing freelance projects and stuff like that. I know that like doing the projects is, doing the work is not as much fun as drawing for fun. Like that's just how it is. So don't spend all your time drawing for fun when you need to be working on projects or work or whatever. There's always going to be time to draw for fun, especially if you get into the habit of doing warm-up drawings on the regular. Um, if you have a hankering to draw some fan art or something, then save it for your warm-up drawing because, if you need to, all you got to do is pull up a reference photo on Google and then or whatever search engine you use. I won't judge you too harshly if you don't use Google, but pull up a reference drawing. Spend 10, 15 minutes, I think, on your warm-up drawing and then move on. If you want to come back to it later, then come back to it later. I think 10 or 15 minutes is like the right amount of time to spend um, warming up. I think any more than that is not really necessary. At least, this is all my opinion. This is all my opinion. One thing I always say in my streams, and I continue to say is like all this stuff is my opinion. I'm not telling you like the right way to do things. I'm just telling you what works for me, and everybody's gonna have something that works for them that may not work for everybody. So that's fine. That's part of the journey of drawing. is discovering what you like to do, discovering what you need, um, and your habits and your tendencies and what you do. That's that's part of the fun. Um, it's always interesting to me when people are like, oh well, like how do I be a successful artist, or like how did you develop your style? And like I could give you the answer to that. I absolutely could. Like I can answer that question, but like that was my journey. It's going to be different from everybody else. Saying that you want to draw on someone's style, I think is kind of taking yourself out of it, if that makes sense. Because it's good to have people that you look up to, artists that whose style you admire, and it's absolutely fine to be inspired. But I think like looking at someone else's style and setting that as your goal, being like, oh well, that's how I want to draw. Like you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, I think. And I'll talk more about that because that's like the one, like the style question is I think the question that probably every artist is ever going to get in their life. How did you develop your style? What is your style like? And even further, like how people ask me like, oh, how do I draw like you? And I'm like, don't do that. Don't draw like me. Like draw like you. I don't know. That's a personal opinion. I'm not gonna really start digging in there now, but because that's a that's a question for another time. But it's definitely something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Um, yeah. Look how cool this Pokemon is. Just a cool Pokemon. I was lucky enough to get a Dusk Stone from the islands early in the game, but I did have to wait until I got all the moves I wanted. A lot of the moves I want on Miss Magius are gonna come from a TM, but um, like the stuff I wanted originally, I had to I think I waited till around like level